Crystal Palace, Go Ahead Eagles, Real Union Saint-Gilloise, Bologna, PSG, Spurs, Stuttgart, Newcastle United, all ending total or specific trophy droughts in an historic 2025 of football. As of producing this video, the Edmonton Oilers could end theirs and Canada's Stanley Cup droughts, and both the Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder are looking for long-denied championship glory in the NBA. Even Oldham Athletic enjoyed their first promotion in over 30 years. Recently, another name had the chance to join this list. Hull Kingston Rovers played Warrington Wolves in the Rugby League Challenge Cup final at Wembley, looking for their first win since their only previous victory in 1980. Warrington were after their first since 2019, and for me, it was my first time at the big game. Wembley is a northern suburb of London, and the high street has all the usual mod cons for a suitably healthy lifestyle. I chose not to sample the culinary delights yet, instead hitting a couple of the drinking spots. There was the JJ Moon, a very typical Wetherspoons, and the Robin, which markets itself as a more upmarket gastro. The area around the stadium is entirely new, with outlet shopping and big chain restaurants and cafes, but there's plenty of choice. I chose Black Sheep Coffee and their delicious salt beef bagel, but there's plenty of choice in the stadium if you can wait that long. I went to the previous Wembley a couple of times, but the new one is far more impressive, but not necessarily more beautiful. Tens of thousands flooded along Wembley Way, and most of them were friendly with each other, though there were small pockets of antagonism from both sides. Like most modern stadia, Wembley caters to more than just the event. Match days are as much social and entertainment, and concourses are crowded with bars, stalls for pastries, pick and mix, and there's even a Marks and Spencer's. Far from pie and vaudeville. The seats are big, padded, have plenty of legroom, and most importantly, cup holders. I was in the middle tier, almost in line with the goal line, and in the thick of the Hull KR fans. That wasn't a conscious choice, as I'm completely neutral, but it turned out to be blessedly fortuitous. The competition has been running since 1896 as the newly formed Northern Rugby Football Union's equivalent to soccer's FA Cup. At its height, over 100,000 would make their way to London for the final, though in recent years it's been more like 60,000. The Super League has taken over as the fans and team's priority. Wigan Warriors hold the record for wins at 21, and Warrington have won it 9 times, 4 of those since 2009. Hull KR's one victory was in 1980, and they haven't won a major trophy since winning the old Slalom Lager Championship in 1985. Sitting top of Super League, and having lost the Cup final 2 years ago and the Super League Grand Final last year, this was a hugely important match for Rovers' claim to championship credentials. So, once Abide With Me and the national anthem were done and dusted, all the garnish was removed from the pitch, and the players finally took centre stage. The big match was finally underway, and it felt good to enjoy the spectacle with nothing more on the line than wanted to see a great game. It was a very defensive first half, with very few attempts on the try area. Warrington did get in, but was ruled no try by the video ref, and so the attrition continued. It wasn't helped by the heavy rain that played havoc with handling. Rovers took the lead with a penalty, but a minute before half-time, Warrington made a rare attack on the try line, and Josh Thewlis scored in the corner. The conversion put Warrington 6-2 up at the half-time whistle. Second half was more of the same, and it was shocking how bad Rovers' handling was. Yes, it was pouring with rain, but Warrington weren't having the same issues. Opportunity after opportunity was missed thanks to the league leaders failing to hold onto the ball. But Warrington weren't exactly capitalising on their good fortune either. Warrington was solid, efficient and executing the basics as well as they needed, though there was a lack of creativity too. They lost the final last year, so they were keen to stay away from the mistakes that cost them before. Rovers seemed overawed by the occasion and what it would mean for the rest of their season and their long-suffering fans. Getting to the end, the Warrington fans were in strong form, and the Hull fans seemed to be contemplating another year missing out on glory. And then... Football fans complain about VAR, but it's been in rugby league for years, and personally I think it's a great addition to the tension, and this was no exception. For me, this is one of the best and most exciting video referee VAR moments I've ever seen in my life. It was close, the Warrington defender hadn't grounded the ball, and Tom Davies touched down just before the line. The gent sat next to me said their kicker Michael Lewis was terrible, but he only needed one good kick, and he delivered. (8-6) to Hull KR, with only a couple of minutes left. The attrition continued, and Rovers held on. 40 years since their last major trophy, and 45 since their one and only Challenge Cup. All those years of hurt were over. The fans were finally celebrating major silverware, and it meant everything to them. Another drought ended in 2025. So, who could be next? By the time this is published, we'll know about the Stanley Cup and NBA Finals. But there's more to come. St Kilda Saints haven't won the Australian Football League since 1966 and are only 2 wins off the playoffs. Canberra Raiders are second in the NRL and could win their first premiership in 29 years. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats are hoping for their first Grey Cup since 1999. For now, the Hull KR fans will be celebrating an historic day and looking towards the rest of the season, where maybe they will be the ones to break the Super League winning trinity of Leeds, St Helens and Wigan, which also used to include Bradford. Let's hope the drought ending continues and their thirst continues to be quenched. Good luck Hull KR for the rest of the season. I'll be in your corner.